Hello monkeys, how are you today? Thank you very much for all my birthday messages yesterday. They really made my day. Oops, I can't get the camera right, hold on. So, we're moving on to chapter 22. The last time we saw the kids, they had got stuck at Dame Snap's school? And then Silky's clock had helped them escape. So that was a pretty clever clock. Now we move on to chapter 22. Chapter 22 is Up to the Land of Toys. That sounds like the coolest land to be in ever. You'd have as much Lego as you wanted. Imagine, I would think I would sit and build Lego all day. So, up to the land of toys. Knockety knock knock. Rat-a-tat-tat. Good gracious, it sounds like somebody's at the door, said Joe. I'll go and open it, Mother. When he went to open the door, and outside, looking very impatient, stood the old saucepan man. He was hung about with pots and pans and kettles as usual, and had a saucepan for a hat. Well, hello, saucepan man. Didn't you... Hello, said the saucepan man. Didn't you hear me knock? I've come to tell you that we must go to the top of the faraway tree tomorrow. There's a very nice land coming there. What is it? Asked Joe. It's Toyland, said Saucepan. You can bring a bag with you and collect quite a lot in time for Christmas. What a good idea, said Joe. He called his two sisters. Beth, Franny, did you hear what Saucepan Man said? Yes, they cried, running to the door. Oh, Saucepan, we really must come. Can we help ourselves to toys, do you think? Well, I've got an aunt who lives there, said Saucepan, and if I tell her you're my friends, you can have whatever you want. Can you meet me at the top of the faraway tree tomorrow morning? Oh, yes. And will Moonface and Silky be coming too? Asked Beth happily. We haven't seen them in ages. We'll have so much fun, said Franny. Yes, please, said Saucepan, unexpectedly. I'd like one very much. Like what? Said Beth, astonished. What you just offered me, a bun, said Saucepan Man, looking around for it. Oh, you suddenly went deaf. I said we will have fun. Oh, all the same, I'd like a bun, said Saucepan. Joe got him a bun out of the cake tin. He went off munching happily, his pants rattling and clanging around him. See you tomorrow, he called. The next day the children set off for the faraway tree. Into the dark enchanted wood they went, and followed the winding path they knew so well. The trees whispered around them as they went. They always seemed to have secrets to tell one another. Wisha washa, wisha washa. They came to the faraway tree in the middle of the wood, and it looked even more enormous than usual. It towered up into the clouds, and the children couldn't even see the top of it. The trunk was so big. Its trunk was so big that it was quite a walk to go all the way round. Great, the tree's growing blackberries, said Joe, picking some big ripe ones. Well, it shouldn't then. Blackberries grow on bushes, not trees. The faraway trees made a mistake. They began to climb the tree, and a little way up it stopped growing blackberries and started growing pine cones. Not so good, said Joe. We can't eat pine cones, faraway tree. This is a very exciting tree, said Franny, always growing different things all the way up and having people living in it too, and a slippery slip all the way on the inside from the top to the bottom. I'm glad we live near this tree. We're really lucky. Yes, I bet a lot of children wish that they lived near it too, said Joe, helping Beth over a steep bit. My goodness, the adventures we've had. Look out, I can hear Dame Washalot's dirty water coming down, yelled Fran suddenly. And sure enough, down came the cascade of soapy water, running down the trunk and splashing on the boughs, and soaking a little pixie who was sitting nearby. Oh, bother, she said, and I had brought an umbrella with me too, just in case I didn't hear the water coming. Joe laughed. I should put a swimsuit on next time and not bother with an umbrella, he said. Anyway, the sun will soon come out and dry you. They went up, passing little windows in the faraway tree, and came to Silky's small yellow door. They knocked, but there was no answer. She's gone up to the top of the tree, I expect, said Joe. Come on, we don't want to keep the others waiting. They climbed right up to Moonface's little door, and from inside came the sound of chattering and noise and jangling and clanging. And there's a picture of Moonface's door over here. The saucepan man's in there all right, and the others too, I should think. He banged on the door, and Moonface opened it beaming over his big round face. "Oh, come in," he said. "We're just having a snack before we go." "Well, what sort of snack?" asked Beth. "Popcakes? I love those." "No, something Saucepan brought when he came from the land. Brought when he was in the land of surprises," said Moonface. "They're called Well I Never Rolls." That's a peculiar name," said Joe, looking at the dish of nice crusty little rolls. "What do they taste of?" "Well, why don't you try one and tell us?" said Moonface. Joe took a roll and bit into it. "It tastes of cheese," he said. "No? Well, no, it tastes of ginger now." No, it doesn't. "It tastes of chocolate." "And now it tastes of coconut." "It's got bits of coconut in it." "No, they've gone. It's very treacly now." "Well, I never." Imagine taking a bite of a roll and then every time you actually chew, a taste of something different. I think I would like one that tasted of ice cream on the first bite, and one that tasted of jelly on the second bite, of orange jelly, and one that tasted of cake on the third bite, and then one that tasted of biltong after that. That would be a very good roll, right? That'd be very good. What do you guys want your rolls to taste of? Send me some messages. Tell me. So where are we? Yes, it's most peculiar, isn't it? Said Moonface. "No wonder they called Will I Never Rolls. Well, I Never Rolls. You just simply never know what they're going to taste of next. Every chew you have tastes of something different." "Jolly good," said Joe. "I'll have another. Mine tastes of pickled onions." No, it doesn't. It tastes of custard." "Oh, that's lovely." "Mustard," said Saucepan Man in disgust. "Oh, I'd hate to have one that tastes of mustard." "I said custard," said Joe, and then made a face. "Oh my goodness, it is mustard now. That's horrible." "Just what I said, mustard," said Saucepan. He bit into his mint, delicious. "Why, it's mint sauce. I can taste the tiny bits of mint." "You'll find you've got roast lamb next," said Silky. Saucepan Man looked surprised. "No, it isn't ham," he said. "I said lamb," shouted Silky. "No, it's not jam," said Saucepan. "Well, I never. It's lamb. Lamb and mint sauce. How clever. These rolls really are remarkable." I love Saucepan Man. He always hears the wrong thing. I think he's my favourite. He's such a funny dude. So there they were. The 6 of them finished up the whole dish of them. "I wish I had bought heaps more," said Saucepan, getting up. "Well, aren't we going up to Toyland? Let's go." Oh, excuse me, guys. I'm running a bit tired today, actually. They were all ready, and they went out of Moonface's round little room and climbed up to the topmost branch in the cloud. They came to a little ladder that led upwards and through the last bit of cloud, and Toyland should be at the top. Saucepan Man went first. He climbed off the top rung of the ladder and called down to the others. "Yes, it's here. Come on, guys." Up they went, and they stood in Toyland, but there seemed to be no toys at all. Saucepan pointed to a town not far off. The flags were flying brightly from little houses. "There's the village of toys. Now we'll go and find my aunt." They set off to the village, but when they got there, Saucepan Man stopped and looked puzzled. "Dear me, this isn't the land I had hoped. The toys are all alive. Look, isn't that teddy bear walking about?" "Well, yes," said Beth. "Goodness, we can't take toys like that away to play with at home. They're as big as we are." "I'll find my aunt," said Saucepan. And they all walked down the village street, meeting 3 or 4 sailor dolls and a curious man who had no legs but wobbled along, and some beautifully dressed dolls. Saucepan's aunt was nowhere to be found. She kept a toy shop, and of course there was no toy shop there because the toys lived in the little houses made of coloured wooden bricks. "Your aunt lives in the other land, you silly," said Silky. "This must be the land of toys, not Toyland." "Oh, well, let's enjoy ourselves anyway," said Saucepan. "Here comes another wobbly man. Let's try and push him over." The wobbly man was astonished and annoyed when Saucepan gave him a push. He wobbled over backwards and then came forward again, only to get another push, this time from Moonface. "How dare you!" cried the wobbly man in a rage. "That's not how visitors behave. I will report you to the captain of the toy soldiers." So that's the wobbly man and the toy soldiers. He wobbled off at remarkable speed, and the 3 children and Silky felt a little bit scared. You shouldn't go around pushing people, Saucepan, said Joe. Not even to see them wobble. I do hope we don't get into trouble. Suddenly, Saucepan went a bit deaf and decided not to hear. He hardly ever did hear when somebody scolded him. Look, there's a clockwork mouse running around, he said, pointing. Run, mouse, run! Meow, meow. The clockwork mouse was very frightened when it heard Saucepan Man meowing. It turned and ran off at top speed, almost bumping into a toy soldier. Look, there's the captain of the soldiers, said Beth. And the wobbly man is with him. He's complained about us as he said he would. We'd better run away. No, said Joe, we can easily explain, and Saucepan must say he's sorry. Up marched the toy soldier, smart as he could be, and saluted. Click! You must come with me, said the captain in a commanding voice. You are not toys and should not be here. Also, your behaviour must be looked into. Follow me, quick, march! We better follow, said Joe. He can't do anything to us. He's only a toy, even if he is alive. And I must say I'd rather like to see what a toy fort is like inside. So they all followed the toy soldier and the wobbly man, whatever was going to happen next. And that is the end of chapter 22. So that's going to be an exciting one. Saucepan Man's a little bit naughty, isn't he? Pushing somebody over for no reason. And then pretending, when he was getting scolded, pretending that he couldn't hear. He's a bit naughty, that guy. Right. All right, my Alex. Have a very, very good few days. I'll try and send another chapter towards the end of the week. But love you guys. Miss you loads. And send me a message and tell me if you had a Well I Never roll. And you got 5 bites out of it. Then what would you want the 5 bites to be? Mine would be cake, custard, biltong, mango, and snot balls. See ya.